beautiful. I like that mamba. I like that mamba right hand, baby. I like that mamba right hand. It bites a little bit. Can land on him, Tank. What, you tired or what?
No, that's part of fight.
Walking back to the middle.
That's part of fight.
I know, I understand. No problem.
Okay.
Tank know that move.
The air crackled with tension inside the Mayweather gym. Floyd Mayweather Jr., the undefeated boxing legend, circled Gervonta Davis, his one-time protégé, turned rival. Sweat slicked their bodies as they danced a deadly ballet, their gloves snapping sharp jabs. This wasn't just a sparring session, it was a simmering pot of bad blood threatening to boil over. The feud between Mayweather and Davis, nicknamed Tank, had been brewing for a while. Mayweather, the shrewd businessman, had taken Davis under his wing, recognizing the young fighter's raw talent. But their relationship soured when Davis left Mayweather's promotional company. Social media barbs flew back and forth, each jab more personal than the last. This sparring session, supposedly a chance to hone skills, felt more like a public declaration of war. The session itself was a war of styles. Mayweather, the seasoned tactician, bobbed and weaved, his defense a near impenetrable shield. Davis, all raw power and aggression, launched flurries of punches, looking to overwhelm his old mentor. The crowd, a mix of hopeful amateurs and curious journalists, watched with bated breath. The session was shrouded in secrecy, with only whispers escaping the gym walls. But then, a bombshell hit social media. Davis, ever the showman, leaked a clip of the sparring. In it, a younger, seemingly out-of-shape Mayweather tasted canvas 3 times, knockdowns that never happened in a professional fight. The internet went into a frenzy. Was this the end of Mayweather's undefeated myth? Was Tank the heir apparent?
Say, man, look, man. Your beef is not with Floyd Mayweather. You sitting here beefing with Floyd. It's a fighter out here that's been calling your name that want to fight you. Gervonta Tank Davis, let's make the fight happen, man. I'm tired of tweeting. I'm tired of talking about it. Stop ducking me and let's make the fight happen, man. Come on.
Boxing pundits offered their opinions. Timothy Bradley, a former champion who shared the ring with both men, weighed in. It's hard to judge from a snippet. Floyd was older in that clip, and sparring is different from a real fight, but Tank definitely has the power to trouble anyone. Andre Ward, another boxing great, offered a more nuanced take. Mayweather's brilliance was his defense. Even a young, hungry Tank might struggle to land clean shots on a prime Floyd. This leak just adds fuel to the fire, though. It's great for promoting a future fight, but disrespectful to the tradition of sparring secrecy. The leaked footage deepened the rift. Mayweather, ever the strategist, downplayed the knockdowns, claiming they were part of a training exercise, but the damage was done. The narrative had shifted. Fans now questioned Mayweather's invincibility, while Davis reveled in the newfound respect, even if it came through a cheap shot. Since then, the feud has escalated. Both fighters have dropped not-so-subtle hints about a potential super fight. The boxing world salivates at the prospect. Mayweather, the aging king, versus Davis, the hungry challenger. It would be a clash of styles, experience versus youthful exuberance. But more than that, it would be a grudge match years in the making, a chance to settle not just a boxing score, but a very personal one. Whether the fight actually happens remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, the bad blood between Mayweather and Davis has reached a boiling point. And with every comment, every leaked clip, the fire gets hotter, promising a spectacle that could rewrite the history of boxing or forever tarnish the legacy of one of its greatest champions. In the heart of Mayweather Gym, a boxing war was brewing. Floyd Mayweather, the unbeaten champ, squared off against Gervonta Davis, his ex-student turned rival. Every jab, every dodge felt thick with unspoken anger. Mayweather, the old master, usually glided around opponents, his defense a puzzle no one could crack. But Davis, a young gun with fists like hammers, attacked with a fury Mayweather hadn't faced in years. Punches flew like angry bees, stinging Mayweather for the first time anyone could remember.
I already knew about all that. Once Gervonta fucked Floyd Mayweather's daughter, and that's not even a secret. That's not something I'm exposing.
Oh wow, that's
After
The crowd, A mix of hopeful newbies and curious reporters watched in shock. Mayweather, usually in control, was getting hit. Then, something incredible happened. A right cross from Davis landed square on Mayweather's chin, sending him tumbling to the mat like a felled tree. Silence filled the room, broken only by the thud of his body hitting the ground. Mayweather, the undefeated legend, was knocked out cold. The man who had danced around opponents for years was sprawled on the gym floor. In that moment, everything changed. Fans who worshipped Mayweather as unbeatable suddenly had doubts. Was Davis the new champion? News of the knockout, fueled by a leaked video, exploded everywhere. Boxing experts tried to figure it all out. Was Mayweather too old to fight anymore? Was Davis unstoppable? Leaking the video made some people mad. Sparring sessions were supposed to be private, a safe space for fighters to practice. This felt like a sneaky attack, a betrayal. Mayweather, always one for showmanship, tried to play it down. He said the knockout was planned all along, just a way to test how strong his chin was. But the damage was done. The image of the unbeatable champ was broken. There was once a time where Floyd used to train Gervonta Davis, but things took a huge turn, and here we are with this rivalry. Now they are going neck to neck on the competition, and there is nothing they wouldn't do to hit each other with their best punch. But their bond crumbled when Davis left Mayweather's company. Social media became their battleground, each post a nastier jab than the last. This sparring session, meant for training, felt like a public declaration of war. It was a clash of styles. Mayweather, the old master, moved with practiced ease, his defense a fortress built over years. Davis, a young bull with fists like hammers, unleashed a barrage of punches, a raw storm aiming to knock down his former mentor. The crowd, a mix of excited newbies and curious reporters, watched, jaws agape. Details of the session were a mystery, whispers leaking out like smoke. Then, a bombshell hit the internet. Davis, always one for showmanship, leaked a video. The blurry footage showed Mayweather, older and looking a little rusty, hitting the mat 3 times. These were knockdowns that never happened in a real fight. The internet exploded. Was Mayweather's undefeated record a myth? Was Davis the new champion in waiting? Mayweather, the master strategist, tried to brush it off. "Just part of the plan," he said, waving his hand dismissively. "We were practicing a special defense technique." But the story had changed. Fans who once believed Mayweather could never be beaten now had doubts. Davis, meanwhile, basked in the newfound respect, even if it came from a sneak attack. Since then, the feud has gone nuclear. Mayweather, voice raw with emotion, has been on a media rampage. "That wasn't sparring," he roared in an interview. "That was a dirty trick by a disrespectful young punk who wouldn't know a real fight from a pillow fight." He demanded a rematch, a full-blown professional fight against Davis. "He wants my throne. Let him step into the ring like a man and prove it." Mayweather's words struck a chord with some fans. They saw a legend, humiliated and cheated, seeking revenge. Others weren't convinced. Mayweather's past his prime, they argued. He's just trying to squeeze one last big payday out of the sport. The boxing world is buzzing. Will Mayweather get his rematch? Is this a real desire to reclaim his lost honor, or a tactic to drum up interest in a potentially huge fight? One thing's for sure, the heat between these two fighters is hotter than ever. Their war of words has turned into a war of wills, threatening to explode into a fight that could rewrite boxing history. Mayweather, the tarnished king, vows to get even. Davis, the young lion hungry for power, stands defiant. The boxing world holds its breath, waiting to see if this feud ignites a fight for the ages or fades away as a mere spectacle. The bad blood between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. had reached a boiling point. It wasn't just a rivalry anymore. It was a full-blown feud, fueled by accusations and social media barbs. At the heart of it all, money and a whole lot of it. Davis, the young gun with lightning fists, had once been under Mayweather's wing. Mayweather Promotions, the boxing powerhouse Floyd built, had taken Davis in and nurtured his talent. But somewhere along the way, things turned sour. Davis left Mayweather Promotions with a bitter taste in his mouth. "Floyd's a snake," Davis said in a scathing interview, his voice tight with anger. "He pretends to be this mentor figure, but behind closed doors, he's just lining his own pockets." He went on to detail accusations of financial mismanagement, claiming Mayweather had skimmed a significant chunk of his fight purses.
Bum ass niggas, man. Cold bums. Bitches at that too. Cold bitches. Tell Floyd to get on live. Tell him to show where he at. You owe them people over in Dubai that money.
Mayweather, the undefeated boxing legend, vehemently denied the allegations. "Tank's a young fighter who needs to learn to manage his money," he countered in a slickly produced video message. "He's throwing accusations around because he's unhappy with his own career choices." The back and forth played out on social media, each comment more inflammatory than the last. Fans were divided. Some sided with Davis, believing the hungry young fighter wouldn't lie about something so serious. Others sided with Mayweather, the established champion with a reputation for shrewd business practices. But Davis wasn't done. He dropped another bombshell. "Leaving Mayweather Promotions was the best decision I ever made," he declared. "Suddenly, my earnings started reflecting my hard work in the ring. Before, a big chunk of my money would just disappear." Davis's claims resonated with some fighters who had also left Mayweather Promotions under similar circumstances. Stories of fighters feeling undervalued and underpaid started to surface. This chipped away at Mayweather's carefully constructed image as a champion who looked after his own. The boxing world watched with a mix of fascination and unease. Was Davis right? Was Mayweather, the man who'd mastered the sweet science of boxing, also a master of financial manipulation? Or was Davis simply trying to deflect blame for his own shortcomings as a fighter?
Has all this BS but in Dubai, and he can't leave because he's been taking people's money and not doing what they paid him to do. He's an effing hater.
The air crackled with anticipation as Gervonta Tank Davis strutted into the press conference. His eyes, usually playful, held a steely glint. Floyd Mayweather Jr., the undefeated boxing legend, sat across from him, a smirk playing on his lips. This wasn't just a press conference, it was a declaration of war. The bad blood between these two fighters had been simmering for years. Davis, once a promising young gun under Mayweather's promotional banner, had left with accusations of financial exploitation flying. The internet buzzed with speculation. Would their feud ever culminate in a fight? Today, the answer was a resounding yes. "This ain't no exhibition match," Davis declared, his voice dripping with a mix of confidence and barely concealed hostility. "This is a fight, and Floyd's about to get exposed." He paused, letting the words hang heavy in the air before continuing. "He's old news, a faded champion clinging to his past glory. I'm the future, and I'm going to dismantle him in the ring." Mayweather, the master of mind games, chuckled softly. "Young pup needs to learn some respect," he said, his voice smooth as butter. "I've faced the best in the business and Tank ain't seen nothing yet. He talks a big game, but come fight night, it'll be a different story." The crowd roared, divided between those who believed Mayweather's experience would prevail and those who saw Davis's raw power as a game changer. Davis, however, remained undeterred. "Experience only gets you so far," he countered. "Father Time's undefeated and it's caught up with Floyd. His reflexes are shot, his legs are gone. All I gotta do is step in the ring and unleash my fury, and it'll be lights out for the old champ." Davis's words were laced with a chilling confidence. He spoke of Mayweather not as a formidable opponent, but as a faded relic, ripe for the picking. Mayweather, however, wasn't buying it. "He can talk all he wants," Mayweather said, a hint of steel creeping into his voice. "But talk is cheap. The ring is where legends are made, and that's where I'll show this young buck what it means to be a champion." The tension in the room was thick enough to cut with a knife. This wasn't just a fight anymore, it was a personal vendetta. Davis, fueled by a desire to prove himself and expose Mayweather's alleged financial misdeeds, was hungry for victory. Mayweather, determined to protect his legacy and silence his critics, wouldn't go down without a fight. The boxing world held its breath. Would Davis's youthful exuberance overpower Mayweather's experience? Or would the old lion roar back and remind everyone why he was once considered the greatest?